Oh,
So-
we're live.
Yeah, so hello everybody. Where were you today then, Ian?
I was at rain dance. I just said I was
Did
at
you
rain
get
dance.
wet?
No. Oh my God! You just said that, so you can say that joke live.
What's rain dance?
It's a festival. It's a film festival,
Do you
like in America.
dance?
It's about films, showing independent films and stuff. So yeah, it's a big thing.
So it's in
How
the UK.
big?
Well, it rained. It's like Sundance in America. It's like that.
But
Basically.
we have rain. Typical British.
Our
Evening chat.
film festival's called Rain Dance. Their one's called Sundance.
Is that an ironic name that they've given it?
They just copied Sundance and they just called it Rain Dance. That's what they
It's
did.
in the UK.
Yeah, in the UK, yeah.
Amelia Bedelia. Hello, Amelia.
We are live.
Wrenched. You're live, boys. Yes. Hot. We're coming in hot. Yes. Hello, everybody. So, Ian, this rain dance. So, this talk.
Yeah.
What was you talking?
Was talking about data compared to
Star Trek.
No. It's talking about data in connection, the algorithm connection with films.
What?
So, yeah. So they had some experts on the panel. I was dragged onto the panel and they were talking about how the Netflix and Amazon are trying to follow the data, but all of us came quickly to the conclusion that data stifles originality. If you're just going to go on the data, then everything's going to be the same, if you know what I mean. So
Data.
anyway.
Okay. What about law?
Well,
Wah.
is that a joke? No, but it was quite interesting talk. It's quite interesting talk. That's all I can say. But anyway, that's what I was doing today. That's what I was doing.
Shall we do what we used to do in the old days when we had nobody watching?
What's that? Fart and do
Turn off and go on.
butt jokes.
Masturbate furiously. Go
Yeah.
on.
Okay. Let's say hello to everybody. Melvin Deeply, hello. Amelia Bedelia, hi. Rust in Peace, hi. You, Franco. Hello, Franco. Jordan Storm. Hello, Tom.
There you go.
Manuel Grell. Hello, my friend. Gavin Blackburn. Oh, hi, Poppicus. Who else? Jim Dowell.
Who's the guy that just watched As just now?
Oh, mate. Awesome Shack. Dommy. Hooligan S3.
Wouldn't it be strange that if everybody in the chat was swappers?
Oh, look at Lord of Hunger. I know you are, my friend. Johnny Lawrence's mum. Who else we got? Let's have a look. Just amuse yourself, folks. I'm amusing. Badfoot.
It just goes to show, doesn't it, that nobody wants to reveal their real names.
Archie Collins.
Marcia, of course.
Black lives or black knives. Captain Affinity. How's that comic going? Who else? Oh, look who it is. Common people, man. How's Scotland doing, pal? Alex Ashburn. Any more? Oh, here we go. Ian, what are you eating? Atom Gray.
Doritos.
Any good?
Pizza flavour. Yeah, it's lovely.
Pizza flavored Doritos.
Yeah.
This is going well. Everybody's talking, then not talking.
Well, I don't know. Do you have a slide, Brown, or are we just talking crap?
I think there's a small presentation, but not much.
Are you trying to sell us property in Spain? Or a different kind of presentation?
Do you know my dream was to move to Spain?
Live in Spain.
Yeah, that was Mr. Brown's dream, everybody. Then Brexit happened, and then that was the end of that. Never mind.
Emperor, you got an economic crisis. You could have bought half of Spain for like, £5 or something.
Expensive now. Emperor, have you got any dreams?
None that I can disclose in public because of
world domination
limitations. Yes, the same thing I try to do every day, try and take over the world.
you keep asking Clytus for a new planet, don't you?
His men are clearly not on the right pills. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah.
Melvin Deeply PRO, any dreams?
Well, this is the following story is true, right? I made a list of things I want to do before I die. Yeah.
Threesome?
Escape from New York.
No, that's the threesome's long since scratched off and the foursome. But
Bastard.
what is top of the list was twins, and I put in brackets, preferably female.
Well, you got him. Lucasfilm has delivered your dreams.
Republic Enemy, any dreams?
No, only nightmares about last night's Acolyte show.
Not seen it yet.
Well, neither have I. I've just watched other people talking about it. That was enough.
I've not seen it yet. Who's seen it in the chat? Anybody? Ian, you bailed, didn't you?
I bailed. Yeah, I bailed after the third episode. I can't be spending my time watching shit like that. No.
Republic Enemy dreams. Then I mean, your goals, your aspirations, as it were.
Oh, blimey. Got an idea for a YouTube channel.
Ah, great.
Emperor Kipling would be a great channel.
I suppose I could include that, but
you could get it sponsored by
Kipling Cakes. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Okay. Just presenting it as a robot, basically, like a bunch of cardboard boxes stuck together, covered in tinfoil.
Well, like egg boxes.
Not that kind of egg. No, definitely not. I think that's already been taken. That one.
It has.
There's another one on. You know that, don't you, Swappers? The guy that reviews films, and he looks a bit like Darth Vader, but he isn't. He's got like circles for eyes and a circle for a mouth, and he's got a hood on the. I can't remember I've seen him a couple of times.
He's got a hood.
Yeah, he's got like a Darth Vader. He's got a hood, and he's got a mask on his face.
Oh, there you go. Obi Stonks Kenobi. Yeah, it's wank.
He's that space pirate
Doom Cart.
Yeah. What's his name?
Dr. Disaster.
Dr. Disaster.
He's quite good, actually. Yeah.
There's somebody, I can't remember the guy's name, but it was something Vader. He's an English guy, and he's been a guest on a couple of streams to watch, but I can't remember his name. But I remember it wasn't bad. It was quite funny.
There was a lot of people. There was one guy who has like a scarf around his face and top of his head, and all you see is his eye.
Dr. Watt.
I don't know who it was.
Osama bin Laden.
yeah. Still alive.
Like an American powerlifter guy who did angry videos in his car. Is that the guy you're talking about?
I don't know. There's so many of them that cover their faces, you know.
Anyway, more important, Tom. Hello, Tom. England v Slovakia. I thought we just played them for those who give us shouts.
Just now, I think.
Did we just play them, or did I just
zone out? Just finished. Just because my brother's watching it in the living room. So
no, not England. England will play Slovakia on Sunday.
No, they played them already. Did they not?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Tom, have we played them already?
I don't know. I know it was disappointing.
Sunday musings are going to be terrible because it's just going to be England's lost. Yeah. What?
Oh, that's
crazy.
Yeah.
Slovenia.
Everybody's disappointed with England because they should just walked all over them, but they didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Slovenia, Slovakia. Tomato.
Oh well, yeah, man.
So
Sunday.
Can we talk about Osama bin Laden?
Why?
You can. We're not.
No, it's like the whole thing is they killed him.
Yep.
And then they dumped his body in the sea.
Yep.
And it's like, and you want us to believe you killed him? It's like if they were bounty hunters, I wouldn't pay them.
But you know the reason why they did that, don't you? So they say, is they didn't want to make him into a martyr. That's why
they killed him. So it didn't work, did it? They killed him.
No. Even when you kill someone, they could end up being a martyr. Do you know?
Well, you don't end up making their grave a shrine or something like that.
That's it, like that. Yeah, that's the reason why they did it. I don't know. That's what they said. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't believe them.
Yeah.
I think either they killed him years before and pretended he was dead, so they could, keep him as the boogeyman in the newspapers.
Yeah.
You
Took
know.
him to Area 51.
Oh, they didn't
Maybe.
get him at all and just pretended they killed him.
Yeah,
One or the
who
other.
knows? Who knows? Who knows? Anybody seen? Guess what?
You would want everybody to see it, right? You would want the world to know.
No, but again, their explanation was because they were asked that question. I think it was who was the president at the time? It was Obama. They asked Obama, or they asked someone in his thingy, where it's called, and they said because they didn't want to make him into a martyr. You know, they didn't want to bury him so people know where the burial grave is. They just dumped him in the sea somewhere.
Well, they still could have like showed people that he was dead and then dumped him in the sea.
Well, there is soldiers that testify that they killed him. The soldiers that actually went in and shot a lot of people and actually executed.
Well, I
him.
thought there was a video of it.
There are evidence that they did kill someone. Whether it was Bin Laden or not is another matter. But the soldiers do claim it was Bin Laden. They found him and they killed him. So
sorry. StreamYards, sort this delay out, StreamYards, for fuck's sake. Atom Gray, Wrenched, and Mr. Brown lines to me. I would like to ask why we're not talking about Blade Runner. That's a good
you got to
question,
ask Brown, because we all want to do Blade Runner, but Brown has not.
Well, we've been sitting on that 27 months now.
It'd be interesting to do Blade Runner. It's an interesting film, you know.
It is.
Yeah.
Hey, look who's here.
Hey, Brian, why don't you come on, mate?
He's abroad.
Oh, is he?
France.
Oh,
I always thought he was. I mean, she.
I hope you're enjoying yourself,
talking
pal.
over each other.
I hope you're enjoying yourself, mate.
Watch
Seriously.
that pool, Brian. Don't fall over, for fuck's sake.
And he's in France. What part of France is he in? Will he meet the transporter? Because that's where he lives.
Brian,
he's in the south of France, so maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Somewhere near Uninspired Reviewer. Apparently.
Frank. Is it Frank something? I can't remember his character's name in Transporter.
Here you go. Rob, 1967. We need Blade Runner.
Yeah. Blade Runner's a good film. Well, I think it's a good film now. When I first saw it, I thought it was shit, personally. But
it's a great film.
Yeah, I grew up.
The idea is we were going to get Robert My Burnett and Doomcock and...
let them have an argument.
and
make them fight.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen though now, is it?
Yeah.
So it's just never happened. We were going to do it for the 40th.
They had the disagreement on Picard season 3, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, they both did. Yeah, I mean, Doomcock said it was shit, and what's his name liked it, didn't he? I thought it was okay.
Gary was saying tonight how good it was.
Doomcock dismissed it out of hand, didn't he? He didn't watch it. I think that's why.
I would say it was okay compared to season 1 and 2, but
Yes.
it really wasn't the best thing in the world, was it?
Yeah.
Well, the dog agrees.
It wasn't.
Hi, Larry. $20.
Do you know what?
Talking
about Larry, did anybody see the documentary on Gene Wilder on Netflix?
On Netflix?
No.
Yeah, it's really moving. I was really surprised. I thought, I said to myself, let me watch the first 5 minutes.
Robbie's met him.
And I met him as well. And I just got into it. I just thought it was a really well made documentary, and it was very sad.
Cheers, Larry.
How he towards the end of his life, it was incredibly sad, and he was such a nice man.
Did he lose his wife or something?
So
Gilda Radner.
And then he got married to another woman at the end, and found happiness again. But then he developed Alzheimer's towards the ending of his life, and he couldn't remember anything. Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah.
So there you go. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to watch, it's called Remembering Gene Wilder. And did you know that Gene Wilder wasn't the first choice for the Waco Kid in
Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles. He wasn't. They had this American actor originally, and they shot with him, and he was drunk, and something happened, and they had to take him to the hospital. And he just rang up Gene Wilder and said, "What are you doing? Please get on the plane, and so we can finish this film." And so they reshot all the stuff. Wow. And that's how it became the Waco Kid. Yeah, because
wouldn't have been the same, would it?
No, it wouldn't have been, right?
No, it's like the actor thought maybe this is a method acting thing, and since he's supposed to be drunk, I guess I'll just go ahead and do that.
I think they offered John Wayne the part of Mongo, didn't they?
They offered. So no. Gene Wilder made this film about this Jewish guy in the West, and he's I can't remember what it's about, but it's a comedy. But he's meant to team up with John Wayne in that film.
That was the one with Harrison Ford, wasn't it? Like,
yes, Harrison Ford took the place, instead of John Wayne, yeah. So
was it Marion Morrison?
I can't. What, the film?
John Wayne.
His real name?
Marion.
What are you talking about?
Marion was his first name. I can't remember his last name.
Yeah. What am I thinking? Morrison? Oh no,
it is Morrison. It is Morrison.
Was it?
Yeah. So no, but it's very sad. If you ever get to watch, they talk about him and Richard Pryor as well, and how their relationship were and stuff. That they were really great chemistry on screen together. But after they finished the film, they didn't. They weren't buddies or anything like that. They respected each other, but they never crossed paths in life, which is really odd when you think about it. But yeah.
Here you go, folks. Common people. Atmosphere something. Is Senor Maron making music or on tour? He's trying to make music, but he's running out of talent. Music is so difficult. I'm doing my best though. Something will happen eventually. I derailed that then.
You did, but again, if you get the chance to watch it, I recommend it. It's very moving, and
what's it called again?
It's called. I think it's called Remembering Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a recommendation.
Yeah, it's a really good documentary.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we talking about then? Anything? Do you want to do these slides or?
Let's do the slides, man.
There's not a lot really.
It's all right. Get us started.
It's just
get Doctor Who.
Dr. Watt.
Get the slides on. Let's go.
Okay, hold on then.
But I don't remember what it is or where I left it.
Say again. It's going very well. Welcome to an annoying delay.
I got some snacks, but I don't remember what they are or where I put them.
Oh, really?
I've got my Red Bull though.
At this time, no wonder you don't sleep. Jeez.
Yeah, Red Bull's lethal, man.
Ugh.
It's lethal, the Red Bull, if you drink all that stuff. Crazy.
Yuck.
Oh, John Carpenter.
Yes.
Has he
John Carpenter probably will be honored. That's the American spelling, isn't it? Do we have a U in ours?
So we have something good then. Here's a good topic. What's John Carpenter's best film?
Ooh, The
Thing, in my opinion.
Well, he's getting a star on the Walk of Shame, everybody.
See, John Carpenter derailed his own career. He was really mouthy about the really successful directors. I remember seeing him slagging off Spielberg at one point in a documentary. And he slagged off a lot of directors in Hollywood at that time, and it didn't do him any favors at all. It really didn't. It's a shame. He just kept his mouth shut. Yeah, if he kept his mouth, he was very vocal about it. Him and who's the guy that directed? Who's the guy that was linked with Monty Python, the director? What's his name? Terry Gilliam. Terry Gilliam was the same.
He's
kind of destroyed his own path, where he just kept slagging off Hollywood, slagging off people left, right, and center, and he made it public as well. And so his career just kind of died.
Did Mel Gibson do the same?
Terry Gilliam was an indie guy, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Like doing things with the big studio, and he talked shit about them for his whole career. But he didn't sell out. That's one good thing.
Yeah, he didn't. You're right.
Well, who's paying for his star? $75,000.
Look, I think Terry Gilliam's a really good director if he gets the right script, and I think John Carpenter's a really good director as well. I really have a lot of respect for John Carpenter and Terry Gilliam.
I'm scrolling down his IMDb right now. John Carpenter's done a lot of good stuff.
He has.
Halloween, great. I love Halloween.
Yeah,
he done the original Assault on Precinct 13.
That was terrific.
Great
Absolutely
movie.
terrific.
Here you go, SMJ32. Hello, my friend. He slandered John Ford, the guy who is the godfather of cinema.
He did.
My God.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Carpenter is that, I mean, he like a lot of the filmmakers that came out of the 70s that were kind of independent, rebellious types. A lot of them became more corporate, to have access to the studio systems and be able to to get the budgets to make the movies they wanted. I don't think Carpenter ever got out of that mindset. And so in many ways, the thing that makes you great as an indie filmmaker is also going to be your downfall if you have a lot of success and then have, the studios want to work with you, is that you're naturally going to rebel against that. And I think it's one of the reasons that Roger Corman always operated within the budget constraints that he did, because he never wanted to cede control to someone else. And he was like, I'm perfectly happy making these B movies because I'm in control. I don't have to answer to somebody else. I don't have to put up with the political BS, and I'm fine where I'm at. I think that Carpenter, like a number of other directors from that era, wanted kind of both sides. They wanted to remain independent, but then they also wanted the budgets to do bigger movies. And these two things, one of these things is not like the other, right? It's a compromise that can't work. And some people end up, working within the system. And then, guys like Carpenter just never did all that well.
You have to play both sides, don't you? So you have to keep your mouth shut and do your independent thing. And then when you offer the Hollywood thing, you have to play the system. And when you play the system and you get more power, then that's when you open your big trap and say a lot of shit, once you've got the power. But John Carpenter didn't grasp that fact. He just slagged everyone off. Everyone, all the big directors, the studios and everything. And that's why they were reluctant to work. Well, I'm obviously guessing because I've seen the video where he was slagging people off. So I don't know, but I do know one thing: the amount of work that he's given us throughout the years have been exemplary. So yeah, I think he's a good director
and composer.
Yeah, and that's actually you have the John Carpenter font. And then the kind of distinctive John Carpenter soundtracks, and so when you see those pop up, you're probably going to be in for a good movie.
Yeah.
I think it's Albertus. I think the font is.
So staying on John Carpenter, okay. I agree The Thing is his best movie, okay, and I think IMDb agrees as well, because that seems to have the highest score. But take away The Thing, then what's his best movie?
It's got to be Halloween. It's got to be. Yeah, because Halloween was the very first of its genre, the very first kind of slasher movie that had all the tropes that everybody copies now. Halloween created them all.
Don't think Psycho was the first slasher?
No, it wasn't, because Psycho is a very different movie to Halloween. Because after Halloween, you had Jason, you had all those movies that followed the same type. And the same kind of tropes that Halloween had created, the unstoppable creature, like what is it? What's that one with the guy with the hockey mask? Him,
Yes.
yeah,
Friday the
Jason,
13th.
Friday the
Jason
13th
Friday the
stuff,
13th.
Yeah, and there was loads of other stuff that came after that as well.
Yes, because Freddy Krueger would have came from that as well.
Yeah.
So, Freddy's a little different.
But
there's a lot more imaginative. But the idea, the thing is about like Halloween is there's not that much slashing
wasn't
going on. It's not like
Omen wasn't a slasher either.
Yeah, but if you saw the making of Friday the 13th, they always say that Halloween was their template, and they wanted to make it more bloodier because they realized that Halloween didn't have enough blood in it, so they wanted to go the next step. And that's what they did. And then other crappy movies followed, and it had more blood.
Yeah, no, I think the reaction is that Halloween was such a huge box office success, and you had a lot of directors that were doing grindhouse, exploitation kind of movies, and they're like, okay, we want to do something like that, but we don't have the story or really necessarily the directing chops, so we'll just add blood.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
with the majority of them anyway. But as I said, John Carpenter was the one. I mean, John Carpenter was one of the very first films that had Steadicam. It wasn't a proper Steadicam, but they had it, because if you look at the beginning of Halloween,
well, it was they actually that was where most of their budget went was to rent the Steadicam
shot.
Yeah, and it was masterfully done as well by Carpenter and the cameraman. And Carpenter had a vision for that film, and even though it wasn't his film, he didn't write it, as far as I understand. He wasn't meant to direct it. He brought so much to it that people copied afterwards. So there you go.
Let me have a look. Who wrote it?
Yeah,
writers,
I think if I had to choose like my second favorite Carpenter movie, I mean, there's a lot of them, and it's like people in the chat are talking about Prince of Darkness. I mean, I love that movie, and sadly, it
Big
is
Trouble's great.
big time forgotten. But I think Christine is probably number 2.
That's all right. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was Big Trouble in Little China was my second favorite. And Escape from New York I don't know.
Escape to New York's boring. I found it boring. I think it took its time getting going as well. It was okay. It just wasn't. I think it was just too slow, in my opinion. I just thought it needed to move faster. But that's just me.
Swappers, favorite Carpenter?
Oh, blimey, that's a tough one, isn't it? I'm always going to go back to The Thing, to be honest with you.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, I was just like, every so often, just when you think that the movie's going to kind of fade from your memory, something comes up and reminds you of it, whether it's a piece of memorabilia or a meme or something really silly, something simple as that. I don't think it'll ever go away, that movie. It's so incredibly well done. And the fact that it was just not very well received when it was first released is just insane, isn't it? It shows how the movie industry used to be and how the audiences used to be and how different it all was back then. When a film that good could get released, before the internet, before there was any kind of buzz about it, before anyone could share images and things and get excited about it, it just appears on the scene. Maybe in Starlog, like what Ian used to get, because that's how we all used to get our information.
Yep.
And you'd go, oh, look at that. That's an amazing photo from this movie. Can't wait for that to come out. But hardly anyone knew about this stuff until it was like on week of release and Barry Norman was reviewing it on film, whatever it was. Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, remember that's 82. You have two, classic movies that bomb. You have Blade Runner and The Thing.
Wrath of Khan, pretty much same time as 82. What a year to be alive!
Oh yeah, E.T. comes out. Yeah, you have all of these big movies, and then you look at the ones that you're like, oh, but I mean, Blade Runner was huge. Nope, bombed. The Thing, it's classic, bombed. There's some really good movies in there that just didn't make it. Was it Poltergeist in 82 as well?
But it just goes to prove, don't it, that if the film is really good, even though the audience don't get it the first time round, they'll get it the second time round. The Thing and Blade Runner are prime examples of that, isn't it? I mean, The Thing bombed big time, so did Blade Runner, but years and maybe decades later, it's celebrated as one of the best films, to come out of Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Dr. Iceman, Wrenched, released on the same day. What a year it was.
Yep.
We watched them all on VHS.
No, I didn't. I saw Blade Runner in cinema. And also saw The Thing in the cinema.
I was too young.
So, Mega Geek, what happens now? Because back in the 1980s, there were lots of shit films made, and a lot of them made decent money because of VHS.
Yeah.
So what happens with those movies now? Do they still get made?
Independent movies.
Yeah, but I mean, in the 1980s, there was a ridiculous amount, and they were easy to get because you just walk into the video shop and there they were right in front of you. But what happens with them now? Because it's not like anybody's advertising them, is it?
You mean The Thing? You mean now? The Thing is on. It's on Blu-ray, isn't it?
No, he's talking
I don't mean The Thing. I just mean in general, like cheap slasher movies and Rambo copies and things like that.
They end up so if you make an independent film now, you have like 3 choices maybe out of everything. So you can either self-distribute it and put it on YouTube or Film Hub. Film Hub is probably where independent films go now because they don't get screwed by the distributor. Or you can do the traditional route and go to Cannes and find a distributor, and basically distributes it around the world for you. But you never ever see any money if you go that route. Yeah, so that's that. Yes, the only.
That's gone then. As I mean, like an independent director making money from just making a kind of a cheap but fun movie, that just doesn't happen anymore.
No, it doesn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think you've had there's some pretty fundamental changes in how the movie business works. So if you're looking at the 70s or even early 80s, you have a lot of independent theaters. First of all, you don't just have 1 or 2 giant corporations that own all the movie theaters. Secondly, you still had drive-ins, in the US where they were looking for double feature type stuff mostly so that kids could make out, and so you got a lot of the the exploitation and B movies, getting distributed that way. Then you had the rise of you also had syndication as an option. You then start having the rise of the cable movie channels, and they're willing to buy all kinds of stuff, which is why HBO for the longest time was called Hey Beastmaster's on, because Beastmaster was always on, right? And then you had the videotape revolution hit in the early mid 80s, where people they could just start shoving stuff out direct to VHS, and you went to the video store and all that. And so there's this huge explosion, but there was still only like 3 or 4 legit areas of mass exposure, right? So, for markets. But you could get within those and still get a slice. The problem that you have now is to get mass exposure, there's really only a couple of options, but you can distribute in an infinite number of ways. The problem is those infinite number of ways are all chopping up audiences into very small slices, right?
Yep.
And so I can make a movie cheaper than I ever could, and I could distribute it cheaper than I ever could. The problem is getting audiences, and that's the thing that people always forget about why distribution companies exist and publishers and all that. And it's not because it's especially hard to make film prints or things like that. It's all about the marketing and audience. And to get access to a large enough market and audience in order for you to make money, that's the hard part of filmmaking now.
Yep. That's the
hardest.
hardest.
We never hear of people like John Carpenter or Sam Raimi now. They wouldn't break out, would they?
Look, the Hollywood always comes up. I don't know about now, but in the old days when independent films were being made, there was this huge influx of independent films. Then they were making a lot of money for loads of independent companies and independent distributors, right? But then Hollywood got wind of this, and then they started creating their own arm, like Fox Searchlight and so-and-so and so-and-so. And then they cornered the market. They monopolized the market, therefore eliminating the independent film world completely. Because, Robert Rodriguez made his film, and they saw him, and they basically charmed him with loads of money. So when he made El Mariachi, that was under the Hollywood system. Even though it was said, I think it was Fox Searchlight, whatever, but it was under the Hollywood system.
Didn't Robert Rodriguez bring those Vespa Star Wars bikes? It was his fault.
Yeah. But that's what happened, really. That's what happened, really.
It's been a long time since Robert Rodriguez has made anything good.
He did a film called, was it Hypnos or something like that, where this guy was hypnotizing people. I don't know if you ever saw it. It was all right. It just wasn't great.
Rest in peace. Independent filmmakers, can't speak, might be able to make movies cheaper with AI coming out.
Well, it's not the cost. It's not the cost of making a movie that's the problem.
Yeah, it's getting it out there and people seeing it. Yeah.
Okay.
Little film talk there for you guys.
Okay, so that's John Carpenter, everybody. There is a list of people who are getting stars. I can hardly read this. I'll have to go full screen. Bear with me.
Bill Nighy's getting a star.
No, not him. Bill Nye.
They're talking about Bill Nye, the science guy.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Neil Long. Who?
Okay.
Jane Fonda.
Colin Farrell, man.
Alan Cumming. Is he?
I'm coming.
It's been coming all his life, mate.
Coming. Molly Shannon. Who?
Don't know who that is. Robert Englund, man. Wow.
All right.
He deserves it. Jessica Chastain, no, she doesn't deserve it at all. She's just been on the market, mate. What is this about?
Here's the thing. Jessica Chastain, she's not one of them actors or actresses that they push on you, They put her in everything, and she's rubbish.
She is. And Terry Parker and Matt Stone, they deserve a star.
Yeah.
Definitely. And they get her to play the leading lady, and she's quite hideous as well. I'm fussy, right? But I look at Jessica Chastain, and she's like a 10-pinter.
I saw
Molly Shannon. Anybody know?
I have no idea. I saw a talk that Trey and Matt did to some students, and they said something that was absolutely true. They said, when you're writing a script, you don't go, he walks down the road and then he gets into his car. It's always something that has to motivate him getting in the car. So it's like he walks down the road, therefore he gets into his car.
Yeah, the Trey Parker and Matt Stone when they're giving their
lecture.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
They said they took a long time for them to learn that, they said. So yeah.
I just looked up Molly Shannon. She looks like Seinfeld in drag.
Really? How old is she? Is she a young person, an old person?
59.
Okay.
Oh, look who it is, everybody. Velma
Velma.
Dinklage, wrenched. Hello, Velma. Hollywood stars aren't worth the scum in the gutter these days. Oof. That boulevard is full of the homeless and drug addicted now. It is.
That's not true, really.
Because they're homeless.
Yeah, some stars do still. I mean, George Clooney and Brad Pitt just made a film recently, and they play cleaners. Not as in cleaners as in a mop and a bucket and all that, but cleaners who clean up, dead people and stuff like that. So it looks quite fun, actually. I don't know if you've seen the trailer. I can't remember. I think it's called Wolves. So it's check it out because it looks like a fun movie. I'll probably end up seeing it. They do sell films. It's just they don't have as much power as they used to, so to speak, if you know what I mean. So
here you go, folks. Captain Not Finity. Hello, my friend. Although Robert Meyer Burnett insists Ash is human, that's alien, isn't it? What?
Yeah.
What?
He's not human. He's a robot.
He's got all that white jizz coming out of him, hasn't he?
He's a robot.
I mean, they cut off his head and then they hook it up with electrodes, but somehow he's still no.
Hey, it could be human. That happens to me all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
Burnett thinks Deckard's a human.
Well, he's silly. No, I actually think he is a human. Tell you the truth, I don't think.
Well, you're silly then.
No, I don't think Deckard is.
Of course he is.
No, he's not. It's bollocks.
Yes,
You know where that comes from? That
There's
comes
lots
from
of little.
the second version of the film where Ridley
Yeah.
Scott was trying to convince everybody that he was human, because it makes no sense that he is.
It comes from the cut where the cop, no, it's where Deckard finds the foil unicorn that Edward James almost made.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, it comes from him dreaming about the unicorn.
Yeah, but Deckard had the dream with the unicorn, and then he finds the unicorn Edward James almost left in his apartment.
Right, but he always finds the unicorn. Even the original movie cut is
but he knows that Edward James almost then must have known what he was dreaming, and there's only one way he could know what he was, as if the dreams were put in there.
Right, except that even that's a reach if you allow that, because by the way, Edward James almost is leaving origami everywhere. And
I was going to say this as well. That's Reisman.
Yeah, maybe the unicorn caused the dream. Maybe it triggered the dream.
Ridley Scott says in his commentary, but
I don't care what Ridley Scott says.
nor do
Ridley
I.
Scott gave me Prometheus, so fuck him in a variety of ways.
I don't look.
I like Prometheus.
It makes sense, right? The first version of the film, even though a lot of people don't like it, first version of the film to me made a lot of sense, even though I didn't like it when I first saw it, especially when I saw it on BBC One. I liked the commentary. I know it's controversial to say. I liked the commentary, and I liked the whole of that thing about him leaving with Rachel and doing that voiceover about, she didn't know how long she was going to live.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the deleted scenes with all those.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense that he's a replicant. Because why would you get a replicant to kill a replicant? Look, I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, I mean, the replicants were quite capable, weren't they? I mean,
yeah.
Bate was very capable. Maybe they just make better killers than humans.
And if he was a replicant, how comes what's his name? The guy who created the replicants didn't recognize that Deckard was a replicant. So what? He was just saying those things about Rachel for what? For what reason?
Well, to be fair, he also hasn't told Rachel that she's a replicant.
No, but that's not the point. The point is, why would he have the conversation with Rick Deckard about Rachel not knowing that she's a replicant with a replicant?
Well, so if I'm gonna steel man it, he has had conversations with Rachel about the Nexus 6 that are out and about, and he didn't tell her. And so why would he even talk about replicants with her, because she's a replicant? In the same way that if he's talking to Deckard about it, he as he says, I think Rachel is beginning to suspect.
Yeah.
But he wants to see if we're assuming that Deckard is a replicant, he wants to see if Deckard is beginning to suspect that he is one. Because if you make a replicant, and you're constantly trying to work on the effectiveness of the memories and things like that, then you would go ahead and test.
Yeah, I don't know. It just destroys the whole thing of him feeling upset when he kills the, as a human, when you kill the replicants and stuff like that. It destroys the whole concept of Blade
I don't
Runner.
think it destroyed it, but I don't think it added anything by making him a replicant.
Nor
The film was
I
fine,
agree. Yeah.
but I don't think it broke anything either.
You know what?
It's just a thing.
Yeah,
A
you know
pointless
what? Right. At the end of the day, I don't really care. I'm sticking to my guns. I don't think he's replicant, but if you think he's replicant, it's fine with me. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that always boils down to me is that that if I can tell the story either way and it makes no change, then Occam's razor the hell out of the thing.
Yeah,
and so he doesn't need to be a replicant.
Who was the replicant who beat Deckard?
Leon?
Leon.
Yeah, he was absolutely lumping 7 bells of shit out of Deckard against the vehicle.
Brian Jim.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really affecting Deckard. So obviously
Yes, it
I
was.
thought combat model, really high pain threshold.
No, it was affecting him because he was in the next scene. He was in the bathroom wiping the blood off his face and shit like that.
Yeah. No. By the way, I don't think Leon is actually a combat model. I think Leon is a low IQ, like just worker droid.
Yeah.
Because Pris is a sex droid. And Leon, I think Zora and Roy are combat models.
What do you mean I'm not helping? Yeah, sorry, carry on.
When he was asking Brian James questions, he did come across as really stupid, didn't he?
Yeah, about the turtle. Was it the turtle and its back in the heat? That was he said.
Yeah.
That's what he said,
Yeah. A tortoise.
Tortoise, that's it.
Tortoise, what's that?
Yeah.
You know what a turtle is? Same thing.
Yeah. I don't know. As I said, I think I personally like the first version of Blade Runner. As I said, I know it's very controversial, but I do like the first. When I saw it again on the BBC with the voiceover and text, I kind of enjoyed it more. So
that's the original one that I saw.
Yeah.
On TV and then on video, and I just thought, I don't know, there's just something a lot kind of more homely about Harrison Ford accompanying you all the way through the movie with his voice.
Yeah.
And it just helps the movie an awful lot. That's not to say it's not any better or worse than the one without it. It's just all personal preference, isn't it, really? And I like the fact that both exist, or there's multiple versions that exist, so you can kind of rewatch it in different ways. And that's always a great thing.
Yeah, you find the one that fits best for you. Well, I think... Go ahead, Brian.
No, go on, Melvin. Whoever, go on.
I was going to say, I don't like multiple versions of things on multiple ends. So make it, and then that's what it is. And I don't want to see the 2-hour, 5-hour version. I just want to see the best version. Make that one, and then don't make any more.
What? My
big argument with George Lucas, aren't you?
Everything these days.
With Blade Runner, you can. There's not really a best version of it, if you like. It's kind of the version that you prefer. So they're all as good as each other, as far as I'm concerned. It's just which one that you kind of personally favor over the others.
My theory is, you know, when Deckard's hanging off the building at the end, and Roy Batty could just push him to his death.
Roy Battersby.
Yeah. Roy recognizes the stress reaction in Deckard's eyes as he's about to die, and he recognizes that he's a replicant, and that's why he pulls him up.
Oh, bollocks!
No,
true.
No, it's the flip side that Roy, as he starts to face his own end, starts to identify more and more with human, and realizes that his last act that he commits is not something that he was programmed essentially to do, right? That and it's why he talks about it. Why he has the speech after, why he has the tears and rain.
I think that's right, personally. But then again, you know, it's Ian's entitled to his opinions. You know what I mean?
But it's wrong.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to say that. I never say people are wrong when it comes to things like this. It's different opinions, isn't it? So
Well, I mean, the best part of that is that the alleged replicants that are supposed to just be essentially robots or whatever end up being, at the end more human, because they save someone who's different from them versus the humans that have just been hunting them down.
Princess Fiona, score 1 for Jay, Brown 0. It's not about who's winning points, Fiona. It's nobody's right or wrong. It's
participation.
I think he wanted him to live because he wanted him to realize that life is precious and what's happening to him shouldn't be happening. That I think it's like the end of Seven, isn't it? Where
I've seen it.
He wanted to be shot and he wanted to be killed because then that will prove what he was trying to prove in the first place. Do you know what I mean? John Doe wanted to be killed, and that's why he set that all up. It's a very horrible, negative thing to have, but then he wins if you give into that. And it's the same thing with Batty as well. He realized that life is very important, and if he let this guy die, he's no better than him. So that's why he saved Deckard, in my opinion, of course.
Wouldn't it be great if we had another series of Last of the Summer Wine and Nora Batty was a replicant?
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
As opposed to Roy Batty.
Indeed, that could be related. Who knows? Yeah. She's just another skin job made by the Tyrell Corporation, installed into that quiet Yorkshire village.
Yeah, here you go. Simon Mills. Hello, Simon. 1982, Star Trek II, Blade Runner, The Thing, E.T., Poltergeist. What a year!
Yeah. We never knew we never knew.
We never knew we had it great.
And we'd be lucky to get how many films there's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 films of that quality. Now we'd be lucky if we got those every
20 years. I'm not joking.
But who would have thought that a children's film would have beaten all them hands down?
E.T. wrecked it for The Thing, though, didn't it?
He did try to do his own version of The Thing, Starman, didn't he? So
I like Starman.
So do I. Starman.
It's a good film. Princess Fiona, 2024, The Acolyte. What a year!
Amazing. I mean, it has been a great year for comedy.
Yeah, and Doc Who. So there you go.
Who needs Spaceballs 2?
Yeah,
Conan the Barbarian was 82.
Yeah.
First Blood.
First Blood was a great movie.
Yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely.
What else we got? There's some bad one.
I like the idea
Tron
that
was 82.
Tron, great.
Wow.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
48 Hours. That was a good one.
Yeah, that's a good film.
Still not seen
Creep Show.
You've not seen 48 Hours?
48 Hours is a great movie.
No, still not seen it.
It's really good. You should watch it. It's really good.
Dr. Iceman wrenched. Isn't E.T. Ian's favourite film?
It is. It's one of those top movies. Again, right? Everybody just sees it as a kids' film, but I see it as a genius piece of work by Spielberg.
No, I've never thought of it as a kids' film, to be honest.
Don't you? A lot of
no, just it's a family film. It's all ages, isn't it? It doesn't appeal to anyone.
You know why E.T. died, don't you?
He didn't die.
He got the phone bill.
You said that to do that crappy joke.
Correct. Yeah.
Long distance was a lot of money back then.
You know why?
Strangely,
you know why E.T. died, don't you?
Go on.
He got the phone bill.
No, first night. E.T. was a replicant.
He got the phone.
He got the COVID.
Moving on.
I quite like the idea that E.T. and The Thing were both happening on Earth at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. E.T. was there trying to warn people when they're just
He couldn't communicate properly.
I'm stuck with these fucking kids. They don't understand anything.
Well, which is the better film then, E.T. or The Thing? Yeah.
Have you got that recording, Ian?
The Cynic has. If I change brands, sorry folks, this might go a bit funny. It might even. What happened?
Oh, you've got Empire Strikes Back up.
Yeah.
Yes.
If
Thank you, Cynic.
Yes, yes.
if the thing attacked ET and overtook his body, would it then suddenly go around trying to heal everybody with his finger?
No, I don't know.
I
think
it would claim that that's what it was doing. You know.
I actually think ET is better than the Thing, in my opinion.
Get
but
fucked.
that's just me. That's just me.
It probably
Is it bollocks?
Yeah, it probably is. But it's one of those films where you get something completely different out of it, don't you? In the experience.
Yeah.
But ET technically and everything, you might be right.
Question then: who watched ET on that dodgy VHS that was doing the rounds?
Me.
When it was out? Yeah,
Me.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
shit as well, wasn't it?
it was
shit.
horrendous. Yeah,
I saw it in the cinema. After I watched it on VHS.
oh my god,
It was like trying to watch it through a snowstorm, wasn't it?
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad, actually. My copy wasn't too bad. And I remember at school, the teachers were saying, Ian, you got ET? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, oh, make me a copy. I had to make 20 copies for 20 different teachers in my school.
Did you charge them?
No, of course I didn't charge.
Oh,
them.
you suck up! Did you give them an apple as well?
Well, they were grateful,
Did you
put it
give
that
them
way.
an apple as well?
what year was that, Ian?
That was when I was in
Oh, dear.
sixth form. And I can't remember. That was the year before ET came out. So it was the same year, but it was before the film was released.
So you had a video copy of before the film was released?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Everybody did.
Telecine.
Yeah, everyone did. Everyone had a copy of it
God.
before it was released. Yeah,
I
and
didn't
they
know
even
that.
it was even in the news and everything about
Wow.
pirate copies of ET. You shouldn't have it, and blah blah blah. And there's me holding the VHS copy in my hand. Yeah.
So was it VHS or Betamax?
It was. Used to have a guy named Ray used to come around our place, and he had all these pirate videos in a suitcase, and he had ET, and he gave it to me, and I copied it.
Did he have a trilby in a trench coat as well?
No, no, it was VHS. It was VHS. I did eventually end up copying it on Betamax because I preferred Betamax. The picture wasn't too bad. It was only when it was in the night it was a bit dark, but it wasn't. The picture wasn't too bad. You could see what was going on. Put it that way.
Mm.
I mean, it wasn't as bad as the bootleg that Spielberg put out on VHS later, where he erased the guns. And,
Yeah.
Unforgivable.
Booted off my own stream. Internet died, everybody.
I would say that E.T. is great as an entertainment piece, but also as a director, I can see all the things Spielberg did. And I think it's genius piece of directing. I really do. Really great script, really well performed by everyone in the cast. And photography, really moving in certain scenes, and a great payoff at the ending.
I think Spielberg really got the best out of the actors in that film, because it doesn't feel like they're acting. It genuinely feels like just ordinary people, doesn't it? Like, you know.
But he shot it in chronological order. So when the kids said goodbye to E.T., they were very distraught. Because they've known this model for ever since they started. So
it's a puppet.
Yeah. So there you go. So
that's probably what the trauma probably caused Drew Barrymore to become a junkie.
God, have you seen her now? She's taking the knee to Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh, it really makes me crazy, isn't it?
I think that if you look at Spielberg's movies, so you have 81 and 82 where he really he develops his ability to like understand the audience and communicate to all of the audience, because you have Raiders and then you have E.T. and those two are, Jaws is a good movie, Duel, all that. They're technically, but I don't think that they kind of connect to everybody in the audience as Spielberg then really started rolling out stuff for like the next decade, and that was really always his genius. Lucas was a great effects and technical kind of director. That's what he obsessed about. Spielberg was great because he really understood the audience and made something that spoke to them.
I think Spielberg, the reason why Spielberg stuff, especially around that time, worked was because that he basically understood family. So if
Right.
if you look at Jaws, the heart of it is Brody's family.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously they go out and kill the shark. And if you look at Close Encounters, it's the same thing. So he starts off with the American family, and I think a lot of people could connect with that, especially E.T., the American family, suburbia, and stuff like that. So even when you're in England and you're a kid who grew up in a council estate, and you watch something on TV like that, you wish you were there. So it was that kind of attraction that attracted normies to Spielberg's movies, and plus he's a great director, and plus he gives you great stories as well. So
here you go, folks. Smilex, naughty little otter. I met Erica Elenak once.
Yeah,
I
lovely.
told her I fancied her in one of her roles. She asked, Baywatch? I said, E.T. then shuffled away.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
But what's his name? He had to kiss her, didn't he?
He had to stand on books to do it as well, didn't he?
Well, he stands on a buoy, didn't he? Because the boy fell over and he stood on the
Oh,
When the frogs are jumping everywhere.
Yeah.
And that was
so well done.
Harrison Ford was a teacher, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he got cut out, didn't he, of the film? So, but if
you only hear his voice.
Yeah, if you watch that scene,
who did
with the frogs? Harrison Ford
in E.T.
In E.T. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but you just heard a bit of his voice, but you didn't.
Oh, okay.
But the teacher that was opening the jars, that wasn't Harrison Ford, because you could see he had his fingers were bent. Obviously, he's got what is it?
Arthritis.
Yeah. So
here you go. Amelia Bedelia wrenched. E.T. is a product of its time.
mm-hmm.
It wouldn't work today with Gen Alpha and
That is true.
Uncle Amelia.
That is true. But again, if you look at E.T., the reason why kids gravitated to it is not because of E.T. It's because of the actual setting. You got kids in a house, they come home from school, toys, and what I mean. It's a lot. It's a lot to attract children, and obviously the adults like it too. So you just hit on something that just was universal.
Yeah, I mean, it's the idea of the kids doing something, trying to solve this big problem without the adults, right? You see it again with the Goonies and things like that, right? And it again, to make a good kids movie, don't act like the kids are stupid, right? That's and again, I think it's why Spielberg started becoming really good at making family movies, is that he had kids, he understood how to communicate to them how smart they actually are, and when you have people like modern Disney, who I think they're a bunch of childless hacks anyway, they have an idea of what kids are like, and so they make it to this very low Disney dumb level. Now. It also doesn't help that they are also low and dumb, but they think, oh, this is for kids. I was like, no, go look at the things that were actually made for kids. In the earlier times, and how much smarter they were.
Here you go, folks. In the chat, wrenched. My question for the panel is: do the guests get paid to appear on the panel?
Yeah, we do actually.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid 250 quid.
Is that all?
The only person that's not getting paid is Swaffers.
Skint this week.
He gets paid in cakes. I
Cakes.
think.
We buy ingredients for him to work in his bakery.
Yes, they all get paid handsomely. Not that I make any money from doing this. It comes out of my own pocket, folks, to entertain you guys.
There's another meta link.
That type of guy.
There's another meta link there between the Thing and E.T. and Harrison Ford, and that's Kurt Russell was in the running to play Han Solo.
Oh yes, of course,
in the first Star Wars movie. So there's a little bit of a triangle going on there. Obviously, Hollywood's a big in club.
I remember though, obviously E.T. was a big thing, but I remember my friends when we were talking about, the Thing, we'd quote lines from it like "Windows blast him." Do you know? It's like, I remember in class we used to just say all that crap.
Was it? You gotta be fucking
kidding? What is it? Fucking kidding me?
First time I saw that was on TV, 10:30 ITV, and it's like it's amazing.
That was the Carpenter's Craft season, wasn't it? Showing his movies every week. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
We've got some super chats. Shall we? I'll do them if I may.
Absolutely.
Common people wrenched £5 real money. Allegedly, folks, so many things to go into making a film. Can you praise one person?
Yes.
Yes,
but,
you can.
But what you can't do is say, "Oh, it is this singular genius that has affected all the things." What you can do is say that this person was smart enough to surround themselves and build a team of really good people, and they had a vision, and they were able to execute on it. Yeah, well, again, or you look at Lucas early, look at Lucas later. When Lucas has a team around him of really competent people that he is willing to listen to and believes in what they're doing, or just lets them do what they do because he hired them and they're good, then you get good movies. When he thinks that he is the singular genius, it turns into a shit show.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Whenever you think of that, it always makes you wonder how good the prequels might have been if he had a team around him challenging him as much as Gary Kurtz and everybody did in the original trilogy.
Yes.
I mean, it depends really, because like you can literally say John Carpenter is the man to thank for the thing, because it was his vision. Because you know how many directors that was involved in that project,
and Rob Bottin. Rob Bottin was the real star of that.
Right, but again, that's the team making, right?
Yeah,
that you hire the right people, you do the right things.
So I would honestly say John Carpenter is the man behind the thing, and he should be commended for that film. No, because Rob Bottin was under him, so he's the captain of the ship. So you can only say that it's
but Rob Bottin had free will with all the creature effects. It was incredible. Yeah, he's the star of that film.
No, but John Carpenter allowed him to do that. You know, without John Carpenter saying yes, he would have to, you know, if John disagreed with him, he'd have to do what John Carpenter said.
Well, if you think about it, the original Thing movie was completely different, wasn't it?
It was,
and it was Carpenter's vision that thought we could do something new with this if we put a spin on it, and then obviously that was flourished with bringing someone like Bottin on board who was able to actually make that reality.
Well, so that's not actually accurate. So the Thing from Another World, the 50s movie, it's a different thing, but Carpenter's Thing is actually accurate to the short story that it's based on. Who goes there?
That's very true, actually. Yeah, I forgot about the book. You're right.
And the titles as well. Melvin was going to say.
Go on, Melvin.
I don't know. It was about an hour ago. I was going to say, Mega Geek Johnson is right.
What's that?
It's Mega Geek Johnson. Mega Geek Johnson is right. It's being a director in charge of like a big project is just like being a manager anywhere.
Yeah.
If you're not good at designating, then you're not good at your job.
So, Ian, who keeps you in tow when you're doing Rebecca Platinum?
It's me. It's all me. Tell you the truth. I mean,
so you're
Lucas. No,
so what you're saying is you're shit at designating.
No, I've shot some really good stuff on Rebecca Girl. You just haven't seen it yet. But it's if it falls or if it stands, it's always going to be down to me. It's you're the captain of the ship, so you have to take responsibility for it, don't you? So there you go.
Another super chat then, folks. Girth Knight wrenched $5. Hello, my friend. I'll always choose Ruin Johnson over at Mega Geek on streams, but it's a 45 choice. I gotta give that 5% preference to the brain behind. Yes.
Well, it's like saying Candyman at the marathon.
It always goes back to that. Larry wrenched $5. Thank you, my friend. Living on Cakes. Have any of you seen Charlie Hopkinson's channel? His Force Ghost Qui-Gon is addicted to snacks and has a gambling problem. Swappers?
It's really good. That channel's great. I encourage anyone to go over there. His videos are like about sort of 20 minutes long or something like that, but they cover an episode of whatever's out at the moment, whether it's a movie or a TV show to do Star Wars. And his impressions are absolutely right on the nose. They're so well done, and it's all done with deep fakes. And you kind of, after about 5 minutes, you just kind of you only see the characters and their actors on screen. You don't see a guy doing impressions. with deepfake, and it's genuinely really funny, and his writing is really good as well. But I think he's a stand-up comedian as well.
Okay,
right.
But he's doing really well for himself. He's got a good.
Larry, do you want to throw the link in the channel so everybody can have a look afterwards? Here you go. Khalid Sawar, hello, my friend. E.T., first film to make me cry. The panels.
It didn't make me cry, but I did feel for the little sponge head, I guess, and
Yeah,
I felt for the kids as well. I really cry in movies. Tell you the truth, I cried in one movie, but I can't remember which one it was. It was a long time.
Weapons
ago,
of Mass Destruction.
yeah, Deep Throat. I don't know.
Debbie does Dallas.
Debbie does Dallas. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, as I said, I didn't cry in it, but I again, just with my director's hat on, I look at that film and I think it's pure genius. Personally,
I know what movie Swappers cried in.
What was that?
Last Jedi.
I think a lot of people cried on that one.
I think probably and this is mostly because I was fortunate enough that Disney would roll out their classics and show them in theaters when I was a kid, and every few years. And Old Yeller was probably the first one to make me cry. I don't know that E.T. didn't really affect me that way. I will say that Wrath of Khan did. I don't know that I cried, but I definitely got a pretty serious lump in my throat. Yeah.
Right, I'm going to put Jay's name in my book of people I suspect might be gay.
Suspect? I'll send you pictures.
Swapper's movie cried.
E.T. definitely got me. That was probably one of the earliest ones. Although before that was probably Silent Running, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Running, yeah.
Really?
That was actually sad, but I didn't cry. How old are you, Swappers?
I was born in 1973, so I was about 4 when I saw Silent Running.
You old bastard.
And the it's just the robots. They're just incredible. The personalities in the robots. And when one of them gets destroyed and the one's just left on his own to tend the garden, I wasn't in floods of tears, but I couldn't, stop myself crying.
Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Bambi?
Have never cried for a film. Never.
You've never cried, full stop.
Well, I'll tell you a story because it just be thinking now when he asked that.
Only when it's your round.
I remember years ago. I was 9, and the family went down to the river, and we were kind of playing a bit in the river. And one of my cousins was there, and I splashed some water on him, and my father punched me in the back of the head for making him cry. I got punched in the back of the head for making my cousin cry by splashing water on him, and I cried. That was the last time I cried.
That was a bit of a disproportionate punishment.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, welcome to Child Cruelty
Wow.
Mr. Brown Lads. Here, folks. Tinkinator, £10, real money. If you had a blank check and owned all IP in the world, what movies, TV series would you commission and why? I would fund an animated Rambo adapting Drinker's novel and many original stories. Ian, do you want to go first?
I don't know. There are loads of shows that
there's one obvious one.
Yeah, obviously. There's loads of shows that I thought was given a rough deal because of the low budget that it was given. Like, I guess the Tomorrow People was one. I remember season 1 was okay when I was a kid, but then as it rolled on, it was obvious they weren't giving any money to it, so it just looked awful as it went along.
Movies as well.
Movie. What would I don't know. What movies? What TV would you?
Dread would be a good one.
Well, as a TV show.
I'll take either movie, Dread 2, whatever. Caliban.
Well, I don't understand the question. So basically, if you owned all the IPs as well, what movie or TV?
If you had a blank check, if money was no object,
why?
What would you commission?
But is that when the films are out, are already out? So
No. So you own all IP, books, comics, everything.
Yeah.
And what movie or TV series would you say, here's my money, make it, and why?
TV series.
No, either one. You can make a movie or a TV series out of the vast majority of all IP in the world that you own.
Out of anything.
Doctor Who, I would definitely make
Dr.
a movie
Watt.
out of that. Yeah. And definitely make a movie out of that. I think that's one of the obvious ones that they haven't done yet. And also Red Dwarf. I'd try and do a Red Dwarf movie as well. Only for England though, because it won't work in the States or anything like that. But
well, that's racist. What about Scotland?
Scotland, I think too.
They can't afford the dubbing.
Emperor.
Ooh, man. There's a lot of IP. I think instead of like, going back to the well for movies or TVs, as IP, I would probably go back to books, and maybe like some classic sci-fi books. Like I've got a book sitting on my shelf that I've always I used to think, boy, it'd be a neat movie, and now I'm like, please, dear God, let them forget that this exists until competence comes back. But there's an excellent book called Agent of Chaos that I think would be a good movie.
Melvin?
I think stuff from the 2000 AD comics, like Judge Dredd and Strontium Dog. I think they could build a universe. They could build a universe right out of all of that better than anything we have at the moment, and it probably would take a lot of money.
I know what Kippers would be. He'd redo Last Jedi.
He wouldn't
do the whole Star Wars.
That's a bit too obvious to say that, isn't it? I would either choose. I mean, the 2000 AD thing is just so rich with things that you could do, make so much money out of the whole pantheon of characters that we had in the 70s and 80s. How great would an ABC Warriors trilogy be? Based on those characters, they're incredible, especially with today's special effects. It'd be mind-blowingly good. Personally, I'd probably have to try and adapt Ulysses 31.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
That'll work.
Yeah, absolutely. With those original designs, just try and make everything look as real as possible, but just keep the original design.
Which woman would be starring in the lead?
As the little girl, the little alien girl?
No, the main character, Ulysses. It would obviously be a strong female.
Lizzo.
That does tick all the boxes. We're going to need a bigger ship.
There's an upcoming Rogue Trooper animated film, isn't there? Directed by David Bowie's son, whose name escapes me. Something.
Duncan.
You know what I mean? Duncan Jones, that's him.
Oh, right.
Yeah. An animated Trooper.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
sure
I heard
when
about
that's
that. Yeah, I heard about that.
Here you go, folks. Black Lives or Black... No. Start again. Black Lives or Black Knives. Wrenched. $2. You've been Amanda Stenbergold, which is never nice. It isn't. And I saw what you did there. Very good. Very good. Oh,
Bloody warm.
So, are we going to do...
I'm just checking. They've got some names on board for Rogue Trooper. They've got Sean Bean and Haley Atwell and Matt Berry.
Has anybody seen the Sweeney movie? That one they made recently. That's got what's her name in it?
Haley Atwell. Fit.
Haley Atwell, yeah, in it. She's very young there as well.
Fit.
Giving it to
Ray Winston. Giving it to Ray.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I upset everybody?
You going
again?
Ray Winston is a terrible actor unless he's playing a Londoner.
Shut at you.
I think Ray Winston playing Ray Winston is still pretty damned entertaining.
Yeah, a Londoner.
It's all about the in-play odds.
Who's the daddy? Who's the daddy? Yeah.
Okay. Who watched this? Quick review. Anybody?
I've only seen clips and I have laughed greatly.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I watched it.
No, thank you.
Go on then. 2 paragraphs, and then we'll move on.
Rubbish and rubbish.
Not as funny as the previous episodes.
How long was the episode? I'm going to do the slides for this.
It's the same as the last one. It's about 27.5 minutes when you cut the crap off.
Fuck, it's going to take all day to do them.
Wouldn't it be great if this this won some kind of globally recognized comedy award?
Oh, I'd nominate it.
Yeah, I would. I mean, Leslie Headland would have to accept it, wouldn't she? But it'd be an awkward situation for her.
It would be a Tommy Wiseau moment where she would actually say that she intended it to be a comedy the whole time.
Well.
Okay.
I think this is well. I mean, you have the somebody should play rave music during the fight because it's just people throwing around glow sticks a bit. You have some choreography, but then you have people just disappearing and then showing up in areas they shouldn't be. You have the haircut thing, which is fucking hilarious.
Oh, here we go. Jay was pissing himself.
This is so funny.
We done. We done.
Again, I think it's like Melvin and I were talking about. You know, when you saw this with Obi-Wan, you got mad because they're parading around in the skin suit of someone that you care about and you know. Mm-hmm. This they are you know, the Abomination is all of their own creation. They're shitting on their own characters, and you can just sit back and laugh at just the total incompetence. You know, if they're going to be ridiculous, well, then we need to ridicule them because, you know, it would just be rude not to.
The funniest thing about that scene for me wasn't her cutting her hair. It was more the expression on her face afterwards when she's like looking at the camera as if to say, "I've cut my hair."
Exactly.
Why did she cut her hair?
Because she's supposed to be copying her identical twin sister, despite the fact she has a tattoo on her face that apparently she's forgot about. It's fine. Don't worry about it. She has stripped her sister, changed into her clothes, then put her clothes on her sister, then decides to give herself a floby haircut with her lightsaber, and then there, I fixed it. And you just sit and laugh and go, they were writing this and thought, man, this is fucking genius. I am so high.
Yeah, it's like, this is going to work. This is going to be good. Like, best plans are the temple.
Got him.
The criticism early that everyone had about the two characters, about them looking identical, was, you know, everyone else was going like, oh, they wouldn't still look the same after however many years apart or whatever. And there's Leslie Headland's out there sort of watching all the comments and thinking like, you don't know why we made them look similar. That's all going to be revealed and you'll regret your words. Like, oh, jeez.
Got him.
It's the same as when people were saying there was no death scene for 1,000 years, and then everybody, not everybody, but you know,
Alex,
the morons on Twitter were saying, "But how do you know it's a Sith? Maybe it's not a Sith." And in that episode, I'm a Sith.
Yeah,
you can call me a Sith. How about I call you a Git?
Yeah.
Well, I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but it seems like you enjoy.
It's funny though.
Watching it. Yeah,
it is comedy gold. It is hilarious.
But I think
I'm doing the slides tomorrow.
Matty said something that was true, didn't he? He said that when you have twins, they're very different when it comes to attitude wise and stuff. But this girl doesn't know how to play twins at all. He was saying.
She doesn't know how to play one person. She's a plank of wood.
All right.
A short plank of wood.
Yeah,
she can't even sing, to be fair.
Well, that video that she released, I was saying this right after watching it for the first time, was her facial expressions throughout that video were far more emotive than anything throughout 5 episodes of this show.
I think it's because she was moving so much that her face just kind of had to move, you know, because of gravity, and so that made her look like she was emoting. I don't know.
The G-forces pulled her.
Yeah.
Could be right.
Killed it.
I can't wait for Friday. There's going to be so much. What the hell is going on? Why?
There's people out there saying like this is the least shit of all the episodes, and I tend to disagree. It's just as shit as all the other episodes.
I'm going to say something in its defense. I thought the fight scenes were okay.
I think there were some areas of it that the choreography wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't peak. Oh my God, this is the best thing since the rise of the
sliced bread,
the third of the prequels. And I'm like, that's not what's happening unless there's some future fight that they're actually referring to. It is amusing to me that the Jedi all of a sudden become special needs kids during some of the fight. A Padawan is actually one of the most powerful of the fighters. But then the helmet one is the one that was making me laugh. Not so much the shorting out lightsabers, because okay, whatever. I mean, I guess in one of the books they talk about an armor that's like that. But the fact that this thing is tanking lights, he is headbutting lightsabers and shorting them out, and yet a girl that's about 4 foot tall and weighs about 50 pounds hits him in the back of the head with the hilt of a saber, and it breaks the helmet. It is just silly.
Yeah, well, thank God I'm not watching.
Here you go, folks. Professor R2 shooting from the droid port. She can't act because of 400 years of oppression.
It could be.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Denmark noted for its oppression, that it was under oppression for 400 years. Oh wait, no, it wasn't.
Friday is going to be interesting.
Oh, it's going to be hilarious.
Assuming I can make it through the slides.
It's a short episode. You'll be fine.
Well, last week's episode was short, but it was a drag. Episodes 1 to 3 were pretty good.
Yeah, so 4 is bad because nothing happens. A lot of things happen. And I mean, some of it you can be like, oh, okay. And then sadly it keeps going. And then you start laughing and realizing how bad it is.
There are memes flying around.
The fight scenes might be better than what we've had in Star Wars elsewhere. That's the very low bar anyway. Yeah. But they're hardly Nick Gillard levels of choreography. No. And if you want to watch decent lightsaber fights, go on the internet and see like people from 20 years ago.
Who was the one who sued everybody? The one who was it Star Wars Kid or whatever?
It might
Star Wars Kid. Yeah. He sued a lot of people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so no, what happened was Star Wars Kid actually his family sued the other kids that uploaded the video, because he was bullied relentlessly at school and stuff like that. He ended up having to like withdraw from school and spend some time in a
that made him into a megastar though.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not exactly the megastar that you want to be. It's like Tron guy. It's not.
He could have got a job at Lucasfilm.
Are you talking about that fat kid that was doing the
Star Wars? Yeah.
Star Wars kid.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Friday is going to be interesting, folks. Who saw this?
Mm-hmm.
Superman's onesie.
I don't like that costume at all. I think it's stupid. I explained that.
Pajamas.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
I think
the costume is awful as well. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, there's been a few people that are like, "Oh no, it's for CG tracking or whatever." I don't think so. I think it's just, again, we have to jazz up certain costumes to make them look good, and then the insert for the 6-pack. There's like a shot where he's like bending over a little bit, and it just like folds and bulges out. It's just I don't know what the hell, and I don't have any faith in
it looks awful. It looks really. It's the worst designed Superman costume since the TV show. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and I'm talking about Dean Cain version. Dean Cain version's awful.
In the chats, big cock at least.
I think that's probably as real as his abs are in that.
Yeah, exactly. Padding.
You know the picture that James Gunn put out a couple of months ago with him putting his shoes on.
Yeah.
The suit was all textured, so I'm thinking that's going to be textured, surely.
Don't know. Don't care.
Maybe he changes outfits because he's playing a younger version, so he starts off wearing that but gets something better. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Tom,
Maybe.
that really is fucking shit.
It is. It's awful.
I mean, it does look like it's made of velour.
Yes.
It's like a 70s velour
smoking jacket. Yes.
It looks like a diving suit or something, like a rubber frogman suit that's been colored to look like a Superman outfit. I've seen better quality cosplay outfits you can buy online than this that are actually figure hugging, like they really form against the body.
Yeah.
And they're also textured as well, and they look far better than this. And I don't understand why they've gone this route at all.
Also, cosplay people make better costumes than this.
Mm-hmm.
This is ridiculous.
And that symbol doesn't work either.
It doesn't even look like an F.
That's not number 8. Yeah, it's not the symbol of his family at all. They've modified it too much.
Shite.
It's shit. Yes, absolutely. It really is, isn't it? Has anybody seen the trailer for just going off the subject slightly? A film called More. It stars Tom Hanks and.
The age thing, I've not seen it yet.
Yeah, it's amazing. Tom Hanks looks. They do this the aging thing on him and Robin Wright, and it's directed by Robert Zemeckis. If you get a chance to look at the trailer, the effects are just amazing. More, it's called More. More.
Will they be doing a sequel? Less.
Yeah, I thought it was like something shot ages ago, and I looked at it. I thought this is new, and so wow, it's so what they can do now. It's crazy what they can do now.
Right, this is fighting talk. Wrenched. Is it as good as Barry? Ian, over to you.
What is he talking about? What is as good as Barry?
Your Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, he doesn't know,
I think the Tom Hanks movie is going to be better because I do believe in Robert Zemeckis. I think Robert Zemeckis is a very, very talented director, so hopefully it will be good. Although he did make The Polar Express, which was quite freaky, wasn't it, that film? But
yeah. I found the trailer, right? It's not called More, it's called Here.
Oh, Here. Oh,
yeah, the chat was saying, here you go.
Sorry. My mistake. But
don't worry, we'll shoot him later.
Have you seen the effects?
I'm it's just playing in silently in the background, and I've only seen a tiny bit of it. But
Tom Hanks, oh my god, it looks like they just pulled him out from yesterday. Crazy.
Oh, Paul Bettany's in it as well.
Yeah, Paul Bettany's in it. Yeah.
What
Absolutely
Vision?
Amazing.
What?
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah.
What as Vision?
No.
It's like a crossover event.
What is it, like a time travel story or something?
I don't know. Couldn't figure it out when I watched the trailer.
Oh yeah, he does look a bit like it from Bachelor Party, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Going back on topic, did anybody see the picture of David? Is it Chorus?
Yeah, him.
Did you see the picture of him being Clark Kent with the
curly hair?
Yes. J.J. Abrams cosplay.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams. Yeah.
What the hell's going on? Do you know what I mean? We trusted him to make a Superman movie, yet it's Superman with all these other superheroes in it, and it's like, just make a freaking Superman movie. What is wrong with you?
I don't
see
trust
if that
James
works
Gunn.
First.
I don't trust him.
Nor do I.
He doesn't. He can't. It is like by nature. Look at the movies that he's made. They've always been like quirky, kind of campy, and it always works best with like ensemble casts. And for him to focus on a single character and somehow deliver a thing that is serious and all that, I don't have any faith in him.
Yeah, the memes are going around of him looking like J.J. Abrams.
Just bloody put him in the Chris Reeves costume, for God's sake, and get him to the gym. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, all they need to do is update that Chris Reeve outfit, make it a little bit more futuristic. That's all you need to do. That's the only changes you need to make.
Yeah.
Also,
Good
there's
night, Emilio.
J.J. Abrams. Speaking of J.J. Abrams as well, the trailer for that Batman animated series has just dropped. I don't know if anyone else has seen that, but the trailer itself looks really good. But then as soon as you know that J.J. Abrams has worked on it, you kind of think,
Oh God.
Uh-huh.
So we're not. Chat, are we looking forward to this? I don't think nobody's got any hopes for this.
no, I'm not going to care about it in the slightest. I mean, if it's good when it comes out, brilliant. If it's not, I'm not going to care in the slightest about it. There's going to be other things out there for me to watch, so I don't care.
Yeah,
I've given up hope on Superman a long time ago.
it doesn't look good at all. This costume looks awful. It's
the high collar that does me.
It's just, it looks like rubber on him. It's like wearing like a rubber costume. It's just
like a wetsuit.
Yeah.
Velour.
Well.
It does. It looks like velour on it.
Oh.
What is wrong with these? What is wrong with these people who make these films? Can't they see they're doing something stupid?
I'll throw this out there, right? This doesn't look very good, but you've got to think that the end product is going to look better than this. If the end product doesn't look better than this, then they're in trouble. But I'd give James Gunn the benefit of the doubt. He's made
at this stage, possibly, yes.
At this stage, yeah. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I mean, I've not seen anything in the build up to this that makes me think it's going to be good. But I like James Gunn, so we'll see.
But the question is, why did they release this picture? I mean, everyone and everyone's mum could see this looks awful on him. Why did they release this picture?
You see all these things they're doing, I hope it doesn't come to this, but they're going to say, oh, we just released them pictures because we just want to, make the chuds angry. I don't even know what a chud is, but I've been getting called one lately.
What is a chud?
Yeah, somebody tell me.
What's a chud? Chat, help us out. What's a chud?
Well, I remember it being an 1980 movie, Cannibalistic.
It was a scary looking VHS video in my local shop at the end of the street.
Chud and Chud 2, Chud the Chud. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, I think that, I mean, to be generous to DC and all that, what they're trying to include the fans, kind of showing what's going on. You try and build some interest and all that. But I think that again they're kind of somewhat oblivious to the fact that they have burned so much of the bridges and the goodwill. That putting this out, somebody has to be going, no, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. And they think that, we've somehow just waved magic wand because we brought in James Gunn and everybody comes back and it's like, that we've reset everything. No, you have not.
Well, if it goes good, if this is a great film, then that will fix everything because everybody will just go, good, we're back on board. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not hopeful, but I'll reserve judgment.
The Internet Help Desk, chode. I do like chode or chud. Either will do. What's a chode?
Don't know, don't care.
Chode.
Yeah, it's a limp penis.
Looks like, is that guy next to him gay? Because it looks like he's touching him up for some reason, doesn't it? It's weird.
Default position, everybody. Fat or lobber. Chud is anyone who has X-ray vision for bullshit.
I gotta say this. What Mega Geek was saying there, the gay man behind him is going, I'll lash your socks.
Sniff.
I mean, if he's the costume, usually a costume person is normally a female, isn't it? Maybe this is something. I don't know what's going. No, seriously, like Yvonne, was it Yvonne? What's her name? Did the costume for Superman in the Christopher Reeves version, didn't she? So I can't remember her full name, but it was a woman that designed that costume, and it looked really good.
Can't help upsetting Disney.
Yeah.
Chode equals Todger.
Oh God. Princess Fiona. She should come on one day, shouldn't she? Princess Fiona.
She's got an invite.
Yeah.
They are stopping the best Superman series.
This is
Superman and Lois.
I'll keep saying this, right?
Best.
I keep
Superman
saying this.
really.
This film should just be Superman. It shouldn't be Green Lantern. It shouldn't be Supergirl or nothing. Try out Superman first. If it works, then you can bring the rest in. I don't understand what Gunn is doing now. I really don't.
Larry wrenched. So what's a Todger? Well, a Todger is an old man.
Willie.
Yeah.
A Willie.
Willie.
Yeah. Willie
Yeah.
Scott.
Todger. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we can sing the Monty Python penis song if we need to, but
Willie. Yeah. Okay.
Tiddler, as my nan used to call him.
Princess Fiona, I should have come on today. I didn't know you were streaming.
You should next time, Princess.
Send her a link.
That'll be Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
We need to test your microphone, Fiona, if we can do that at some point.
Just get in the green room for like half an hour before so you can figure it out.
And what about the mic? All right, moving on. That was funny in my head. Okay.
Play the laughter track.
Hold on then.
Dun, dun, dun.
Cool.
It's
funny you should do that when this action figure comes on the screen.
That can't be true, right?
No, it is. I saw one of these in HMV
wow.
a few months ago.
I've been releasing these for years. Of these, they're like sort of prototype figures where they the manufacturing process before they paint them.
Everybody.
It's like a prototype when they stick all the pieces together, they're all different colors because they come from different sprues. So, and then they piece them all together in the factory. Then they're painted, right? Or the other way around, it's painted then pieced together. But this is before that process is supposed to take place. And back then in the 70s, images were released of these figures, and people were saying, "Oh, I want to buy that. Oh, I think it looks funky. I want to buy it." So then Hasbro go, "Oh, let's give people what they want," and they release these things for almost 20 quid, and they look crap. To be honest.
I thought it was something to do with this. Must be me being a bigot.
No, nothing to do with. I mean, they might tie it into that and go, "Oh, look, it does look a bit sort of gay flag, doesn't it? Let's release it in June." But they've been released.
Was it Dune?
They've been released for ages before, and I think this has been marked down by the look of it. It's probably more expensive than $16.99. This looks like a sale sticker. So obviously, no one wants.
Who would buy that shite?
I don't know. There's some obsessives out there that will buy literally anything with a logo on it.
Yeah, well, the thing is it's like if you came out with a Boba Fett that actually shot the backpack missile now, right? You know, they're like, oh, remember that was super rare and you couldn't get it or whatever. Well, now everybody wants it, so let's just make. And people will be like, that must be collectible. You realize they're making millions of these, right? You know, it was these. So you would do a figure like this because you shoot it in the different colored plastics to see which one look the best with the paint on to compare, because it depends on the underlying plastic as to how well the color either bleeds through or doesn't, and then you would ship it off and do that. And so I'm sure that there were some figures by the guys like at Kenner, the artists that did like the prototyping, that would have that and say, yeah, shoot it in this color because that's the best underlying color and all that, and people saw it and were like, oh, that would be kind of cool because it's a rare prototype thing. Oh, well, they want rare prototypes. Well, let's just manufacture them as if they were actually meaningful. And no, nobody wants that.
Shite, everybody.
Pretty much
shite.
Basically, I still buy the occasional Star Wars figure now if it means something to me. But it's
what was the last one you bought?
It was a retro like this one, a retro style, but it was Luke Skywalker in Jedi outfit, because that was my favorite figure as a little kid, and I thought it'd be nice to have that again since my family gave it away without my consent back in 1986, whenever it was. So yeah, I've bought that figure again, and I've got it nicely on display in a packet as like a nice a nostalgia piece, basically. But I wouldn't buy any bit of merchandise unless I thought it was cool and I would have loved it as a 10-year-old. And if I saw this as a 10-year-old, I'm not buying that shit.
You can call the manager. They screwed up this action figure.
Yeah, right.
What's wrong with it? I'm holding out for the Yord action figure myself.
Oh,
very, very excited about it. I hope it has real broken neck action.
It clicks when you turn the head.
Exactly.
Do you think we're going to get any Akashite action figures?
I mean, I about crapped myself when I was in a Walmart a couple of months ago, and they had Rebel Moon figures, and I was
my god!
yes,
Oh my god!
yes, they did. And I was like, I immediately came back and was telling people, I was like, "Oh man, if you want your Rebel Moon figures, you better get them now."
Did they have spaceship models with coal?
No, I don't. Well, I think the coal would have had to been optional. You got to buy that extra. It's go over to the gardening area, get a shovel, and.
I haven't seen Rebel Moon, but all I've seen is from the trailer when they're using scythes to cut down corn. Is that how they make the coal?
Oh, no. The grain. Well, that's an entire movie, just the grain. If you have real harvesting action, I don't know if that if that was included in any of it, but the coal powered spaceship. That's what you're about.
I got to the first scene where they're having dinner, then they all have sex, and I'm just like, this is shit off.
There's sex in it. That's not very Star Wars like, is it?
I think it's a tradition it's a tradition where they get the harvest in, eat well, then
it's like a fertility ritual.
God.
I mean, it's just coherent. That's probably the most coherent part of that movie.
Really?
And Zack Snyder wanted to make it like a Star Wars story. It's not any kind of wonder why
Kathy knocked it back.
Didn't get sanctioned by Lucasfilm. Yeah, that's right. There's no way this could have made it as a Star Wars story.
I mean, you do see the other Star Wars stories they've signed off on, and you're like, yeah, I mean, it seems reasonable to go ahead and do the harvesting.
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
because what was it? Harvest Moon was the code word for when they were filming. Was it Empire or was it the original Star Wars?
Blue Harvest.
Blue Harvest. Yeah. So I mean, you got harvest, you got grain. That's Star Wars. What are we talking about?
Yeah, they say harvest once in A New Hope, don't they? So yeah.
Did Family Guy do harvest?
Was Blue Harvest Empire Strikes Back?
I was thinking
it was Return of the Jedi.
Was it Jedi?
Yeah, it was Jedi.
So what was the code name for Empire Strikes Back?
I don't know, but I know Blue Harvest was Jedi because there was a lot of focus on it at the time. I think I'm not sure now when I think about it.
Internet. I can't speak. The Internet Help Desk. Rebel Moon. The Star Wars so bad. Star Wars didn't want it, and yet Acolytes, Ahsoka, and High Republic went ahead.
Yeah. What does that tell you?
We still have this. What's it called? Skeleton Crew coming up as well.
God.
Don't care.
That's Jude Law, isn't it?
Don't care.
We shall see. I watched the Latino Slant channel. No, it was this week or last week. I think it was this week. And Cameron Pasha was on as a guest, and he said that he heard it was actually good. But, well, we'll see.
I'm just doing everything not to comment on Cameron Pasha.
Well, Cameron Pasha said it was good.
He said he heard it was good.
I think he has. I think he's discredited himself a bit, hasn't he, Cameron?
Yeah, he has a bit.
More than a bit, yeah.
But I mean, belly laughing, Emperor.
So our good friend Zax has had Cameron Pasha on as a guest, and they usually talk about 15 minutes about Star Wars or whatever, and then Cameron shares some of his other beliefs, which are just as believable as his leaks from Lucasfilm.
Well, isn't all that kind of spiritual stuff and ghosts and spirits and things like that? But I mean, I'm an atheist. Every religion's like that for me.
No. I mean, it's actual like he'll say 40. The 48 strands of DNA. I was like, that's not how DNA works. What are you doing? And then just making things up about history or whatever. Where he'll make a statement. And I'm immediately that's not correct.
See, they're all coming in. Sparrow. Okay.
Yeah, that was his informant into Hollywood, I think.
Yeah.
Or into Lucasfilm, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. It was his source.
Well, that Skeleton Crew show is just the cast is full of kids. So what could possibly go wrong there?
Well, that's the same as this Romulus as well, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah, that's right. Although they're not kids, they're kind of what, tweens or not tweens, sorry, young adults, shall we say? But I'm never drawn to a project where it's full of people that can barely act. And that just
I'm a young adult. I'm 52.
Mind you, you know,
Bastard.
Stranger Things did it well, but I think that might be a diamond in the rough, that one.
Okay, then. Shall we? I think there's one more slide. Shall we move along then?
Oh,
Move
sure.
along.
Okay, so here you go, folks.
Oh, it's Melvin's favorite movie.
Go, Melvin, go.
It's shit.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, folks.
Why is
Yeah.
that up anyway?
Because they knew Melvin was going to be on.
Just for me. Just for me. This film is awful. Because the story is complete and utter fucking garbage. It's terrible. It's a bad movie. Now, technically, it's beautiful. It's, you know, to look at. There's nothing wrong with it. And Brad Pitt can't act. How the fuck did they give this guy an Oscar? What's going on here? Have the aliens taken over? How does Brad Pitt get an Oscar? Somebody tell me. Somebody explain. Somebody make me understand.
What's that?
Yeah, he got
the
Oscar for this. Yeah.
You joke? Really?
Really?
It was a slow year.
Slow decade.
Yeah. No, I thought the film was okay. I didn't think it was great because everybody's telling me it was great. I went to see it and I was kind of amused by it. There were certain scenes that was quite nice, like, you know, when he went to that really weird commune place, Brad Pitt, and I thought something was going to happen. It was all leading to that, and nothing happened really. I loved the bit where he smacked that guy and told him to change the tire in his car. But that was quite cool.
Yeah, but that was the most exciting part in the film. The tire getting changed. It was just pointless. The whole idea is, right, there's these two guys. Spoiler alert, everybody. Well, I'm saving you from watching
Spoilers, everybody, by the way. Spoilers.
It's this actor who is Leonardo DiCaprio, and Brad Pitt is his
stuntman,
bodyguard kind of thing.
No, well, it's his stuntman.
Yeah, that as well. But
yeah,
but he's kind of like the guy who kind of looks after him and drives him here.
Yeah.
And it's set in the time
This is
with
Batman, isn't it? This is Batman.
The Manson family.
Yeah, it's set in the 70s.
And it's kind of building up to the murder of Sharon Tate.
Mm-hmm.
And these two live next door to Sharon Tate.
They do.
And it reaches the exciting climax where the people come to kill Sharon Tate and they go into the wrong house. And Brad Pitt kills them instead. And that's it. And it's like, well, where was the point in that? Where was the point?
I think Tarantino was trying to make a trip because this film is kind of based on the same thing that Hooper was based on. You know, Hooper with Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, here you go. Look, straight in there. Look, here you go.
Yeah,
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, Hooper was a better movie.
It was. Well, it was far more entertaining. But I mean, you know, it was just his love letter to Hollywood of yesterday. That's what it was. And I could see what he was trying to do, but I think I thought he failed. But it wasn't horrendously bad. It was enjoyable. I thought it was enjoyable, but I just didn't think it was one of his best ones. That's all.
If I was rich, I would sue him for my 2 hours back.
I like the Bruce Lee bit. I thought that was quite fun. And there were other bits in there I thought were
people were up in arms about that.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
All right, best Tarantino film.
I think it's Pulp Fiction, personally.
I'll go with Reservoir Dogs.
I think Pulp Fiction was a very unique movie.
Swappers, Last Jedi, yeah.
What's that, sir? What was the question?
Favorite Tarantino film? Last Jedi, isn't it?
I'm not a fan of Tarantino at all. Really? Not. The only film that I've really enjoyed that I've seen that he's made was probably From Dusk Till Dawn, but that wasn't strictly him.
No, it wasn't.
Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, I mean, Pulp Fiction was kind of okay, but none of his films have grabbed me ever.
Have you seen Jackie Brown?
No.
Jackie Brown's good. Yeah,
And I
it's
haven't
great
seen
movie.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood either because I've heard terrible things, so I'm not going to bother with that.
I can tell you more terrible things if you like.
Go ahead.
It's bad. There you go.
Okay. I will say Jackie Brown No Relation is my favourite Tarantino movie.
I'm with Mega Geek, Pulp Fiction.
Pulp
But
Fiction.
Reservoir Dogs is close.
Yeah,
I like
Reservoir Dogs is a good
Inglourious
movie.
Bastards as well.
Bastards.
But
I think Pulp Fiction was unique because it was very different to anything that was out at that time. The music combined with the surprises in each story. The only story I thought that didn't work for me is the Bruce Willis one, where it took 20 minutes just to get going because they were talking shit in that hotel room. I was like, get on with it.
Well, that's what we do on here.
Yeah. But apart from that, I thought the whole film was very, very good. Very different to anything
That's always what turns me off with Tarantino films is just the sitting around talking, just fucking hell, and it just goes on way too long. I mean, yeah, you can have exposition and characters having discussions, but not at the expense of the rest of the film. You know?
Yeah, that's what Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is. I think it had some kind of special meaning to him, and everybody else is faking it. That's what I think. Everybody else saying it's great and it's a walk around. I mean, I know people who say that's his best film, and I'm thinking, you're pretending. It's Emperor's New Clothes. You can't possibly think that's his best film or even as a good film. It's strange to me. I know everybody has an opinion and we can say a film's good or bad, but that film is truly shit.
I can see your point, though. I can see your point because it depends on if you understand the concept that he's laying out to you. And I know what he was trying to do here, and I did go for the ride, and I thought it was entertaining to a point. I don't like when he changes history. I mean, why it makes no sense that he changed the history. She got killed, she died.
Yeah, but the whole thing here is it's an alternate ending for Sharon Tate. Sharon Tate lives, right? That's the alternate ending. Yeah. But it doesn't go beyond that. So where was the point in telling the story? It's like she's alive and not dead, and then what?
The point, like, no, well,
had that been like halfway through the film and then Sharon Tate did something else and added to the story, then that would have been something. But this was nothing. It ends. Well,
it wasn't about Sharon Tate, though, was it? It was basically a love letter to that era of films and how the Hollywood system worked in that moment in time. Like for instance, Leo's character was a big movie star, but yet his star was dwindling because of TV. TV was getting more popular, and then he had to take the job. Remember, he had to take the job in that Western show. Do you remember anything? So it was about that. It was about that era. It wasn't meant to be anything special. It was just a love letter to that era of Hollywood. That's what he was trying to do. But I still don't understand why he changed history at the end, though.
Yeah, I think his head's up his bum with that one.
Yeah, I can see your point.
Well, he did it with Inglourious Bastards as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That was slightly better, though.
When you see a film, right, and it's like, okay, I understand exactly what you're saying. I don't get that movie, clearly, right? But if I don't get that movie, that's on Quentin Tarantino. He's the guy telling the story, you know?
But he's counting on people that do understand what he's trying to do.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not that thick that I'm not going to get a movie. It's got to be a hella complicated movie if I walk away, like The Godfather or something. It's like I got The Godfather. It wasn't as complicated as that, was it? I got Pulp Fiction. But I look at this and I think he made that movie for himself and nobody else.
I don't think he makes films for people. He makes films for himself. Even Reservoir Dogs, he made that for himself, and Pulp Fiction. And like, do you know in Reservoir Dogs, right? You know the bit where the guy cuts the guy's ear off.
Yeah, copy.
Harvey Weinstein told him, "Look, your film's not going to get passed if we have that scene in the film." And Tarantino was like, "That is the film. It makes the film." And then I had a screening where everybody was so upset that the ear got cut off. And then what's his name? Weinstein said, "See, we need to cut that out of the film." And Tarantino said, "No, see, everybody's disgusted. That's why it should stay in the film."
Yeah, got the reaction. That was exactly the whole idea of a scene like that, to get the reaction.
Yeah.
I tried to explain to one that she doesn't like horror films. And I tried to explain as the idea of a horror film is, because, she's 11 and they scare her. And it's like, the idea is you're supposed to be scared. That's the point. It makes your heart beat faster, kind of thing. That's the whole.
Yeah.
It's excitement. That's the whole point of it, you know.
Mm.
And if horror films wasn't scarier, then nobody would watch them, would they?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think Tarantino's a very accomplished filmmaker. He, in my opinion, from Reservoir Dogs, he got better and better, in my opinion. So some of the films that he's made is incredibly well directed, incredibly well written, in my opinion, of course. But you know, it's not for everyone, though. His stuff.
Has he got one more film to make?
He says he's making a TV series. He says he's given up now. Apparently, I don't know.
I know that he does a podcast on
Yeah.
YouTube with his buddy.
Yeah, if you listen to some of the podcasts, they're really insightful. Like, I did not know there was a character called Parker. Oh, have I spoken about this before? You know, the character Parker. It's been played by loads of actors throughout the decades. It first got played by Lee Marvin, and the last person to play Parker was Jason Statham in a film called Parker. So it's based on a book. Sorry,
Lee Marvin, is that not Walker?
No. Lee Marvin played Parker in that film Point Blank, Point Break, Point Blank, where it was called.
Point Blank, that was Walker, it was called.
I don't know. I think it was
Was
Parker.
that the Parker from Thunderbirds?
Yeah.
No,
I think it was Parker.
Yes, my lady.
Point Blank was Lee Marvin, and there was a few people in it. Angie Dickinson.
Yeah.
There you go. Based on Pauline
yeah.
Kale.
His name was Walker, and the Mel Gibson movie Payback was a remake of that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't know what Mel Gibson was called in that film either, so I don't know.
Yes, my lady.
He was called Porter.
Porter.
He was called Porter.
Yeah.
Parker from Payback.
So maybe his name was Parker. Somebody check on that. I don't know.
Lady. Yes, my lady.
I'm 100%
But apparently it's the same character.
I'm 100% sure it was called Walker, but I've been 100% sure before and been wrong. So
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But that's what he was. He's very insightful about movies, definitely about the decades and stuff like that. He does know his shit, put it that way. Yeah, so there you go. Once upon a time in Hollywood.
I seen him explaining the scene of the ear getting cut off. And you know how to play the music. It's Steelers Wheel, Jerry Rafferty stuck in the middle with you.
Yeah.
And
Camera pans away as well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it does.
He's got the guy tied to the chair, and he turns the radio up, and everybody likes that song, and he starts dancing, and you get in, and and you're kind of tapping your feet, enjoying the song. And he said, and then he cuts the guy's ear, and well, then to blame, you're like guilty because you were dancing to the song.
Yeah, I don't know. He copies a lot, though. I mean, that sequence with the camera veers off. That's Martin Scorsese did it with Taxi Driver. So yeah, I don't know. I do like his films, though. I think majority of his films are quite enjoyable.
He does heavily borrow from
a lot of people.
Yeah, he's very much a he's like a VHS store nerd, right?
Yeah.
The guy that he used to watch like the B movies, late night, and then when VHS came out, he was just watching all the things, and you can tell, that he's very much magpieing and picking and choosing things from different movies that are kind of deep cuts, oddball exploitation in B movies, and then shining them up and putting them into bigger budget movies.
But the difference between Tarantino and other directors that do that is Tarantino understands films deeply, very, very deeply. He can tell you the ins and outs and the hidden meanings in movies, and he's very, very
right. He's not Zack Snyder.
Exactly.
Where Zack Snyder's like, look, cool thing. I will copy beat for beat. I don't understand why it works in a prior movie or why it's important. I just put it in because look cool, bro.
Yeah. But Tarantino understands it deeply, and he understands the hidden meanings behind certain things, and he's very knowledgeable when he imitates stuff. He's very knowledgeable about it, so he can take it and he can twist it slightly to his advantage, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that is it.
Quentin Tarantino.
Hey, wasn't that a nice, pleasant 2 hours?
If you say so.
Maybe more so for us than the
For
audience.
somebody it
but
was.
okay.
At least he didn't have Doctor Who. That's something.
Oh,
That
thank God.
was.
Thank God.
I will say, chat, thank you so much. Really great to see you all this evening. And apologies it wasn't the Acolyte Ruins. Got some real life stuff going on, so we'll be back Friday doing that. So appreciate the interaction and the super chats. We will see you next time, chats. I will thank the guests. Let me go big screen. Republic Enemy, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. See you on Friday. Thanks to the
yes.
chat. Thanks to the panel. Yeah, that Friday show is going to be a good laugh.
Oh, Christ, it's going to be amazing. Melvin Deeply Pro. Cheers, Pro.
Hey, bother, Mr. Brun.
Emperor
That's all I have.
Goodwin.
Oh, I'm still looking forward to watching Friday. It's we've got B-sides later, but we watch it right up until the last possible moment when you guys are doing a Friday broadcast, because
Maybe I should get the laughter track ready for Friday.
You absolutely should. Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
And last but by no means least,
No worries.
All right, Ian.
No worries, pal. No worries.
Oh,
God, it's so warm. I've got to about to sleep tonight.
Well, I was
Jesus.
going to piss it down tomorrow on that bombshell.
Good
We're
night,
back
everybody.
Friday.